Hey, so this video is for anyone who uses Grip-Tec and specifically the new sheets of Grip-Tec. They have a little bit of a different surface finish that can cause some issues when you're going to sandblast, but I figured out an easy solution and I want to share that with you. So let me bring you in, show you what I'm talking about, and then talk about the solution for it. So anyone that's used Grip-Tec before has probably gotten a set of scales like this, where they're cut off a block, and it's in the middle of the material so you can feel the rubber is exposed in this. With the sheets, they're cast differently. Obviously, it's cast in a sheet. This has a G10 liner on here that I've glued on, but the outside surface is this shiny resin layer that is up against his mold, and there's no exposed rubber here. And so when you sandblast it, it's pretty resistant to getting down to that rubber layer, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's an example of a scale where we have the shiny surface down here, and then I sandblasted the front half of it. And the sections where it has been chamfered or sanded, you have nice exposed rubber particles, but on the flats, we don't have any exposed rubber. And you can sit there and blast and blast and blast on it, and it'll take a really long time to expose that rubber. So the solution that I came up with is just you have to hit this with some 220 grit and get through that smooth, shiny resin outer layer and down into the mix of resin and rubber. And you will feel the difference when you're sanding. It'll start to grip that paper. That sandpaper, and then you know you're through it. Then you can take it and go blast it, and then it'll turn out really nice and even. And I'll show you an example of that here. And here's the finished product. So now we have exposed rubber over all surfaces, and it has a really nice grippy feel, some nice subtle texture, and it just looks good and even all over. All right, so there's a little quick tip for you guys. I was having some grief with it this morning, and then after a little bit of fiddling around, it turned out it was a pretty easy solution. So little 220, knock that surface down, and then it'll sandblast just like it normally does. If you're contouring scales and hand sanding beforehand, you probably won't want to run across that issue. But if you're doing something like this where it's like chamfered on the exteriors of it and it's the original surface on the flats, then that you just need to hit it with a little bit of 220 and then you're good to go. So if you haven't tried out Grip-Tec, I'd hit up Rock Solid Scales and pick yourself up some. It's a pretty cool material and I think your customers will like it.